Hi, welcome to the live stream this morning. So I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be giving messages based on who's listening, and briefly talk about the week ahead as well. Yeah, just before we start, I just want to mention that I have got appointments up now for the next 3 weeks on my website on the Archangel Raphael one. They'll be starting from this coming week onwards. And also I've got the 5 minute transmissions, the shamanic protocol, and the new week for that will start on Sunday. And also the Gaza fundraiser is also on it. So that's still ongoing. For those of you who've already done it and received a soul vision and soul signature, if you did want to do it again, I'll send you a general message. So if you do that, just send the donation for £34 and put general message in the note. And then I'll do that. I'll send that over. For those of you who wanted to donate directly to Gaza, um, in the description here on this, we have links to various projects, really good grassroots projects in Gaza to donate to. And also, I've added an additional link, and it's for someone in Gaza. I'm a 20-year-old called Amjad, who's raising money, to waterproof his tent and for food and so forth. So that's also on the description. And he has a large family to support. So if anyone wanted to donate to him, that would be, greatly appreciated by him and his family. Yeah, and finally, groups are on the gen.net website. And we have the ones on Tuesday, the New Earth transmission groups, and also the monthly clearing and recalibration group. And that's actually coming up this coming week on Friday. So, yeah, so I'm just going to let Archangel Raphael come in and speak through me. Hmm. 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 I would like you to know that what I am actually seeing is that there is a lot going on generally, and it is not only about your energy and what is clearing, but it is also about the general energies in the world, which are clearing up very well, actually, in terms of people going deeper. But what you will find is that there will be some resistance within you, but also externally, because this energy is very much the energy that needs to shift in order to go forwards at the moment. So it is a time where you will generally be able to clear a lot, but also a time where you may feel some really resistant, stuck energy coming up to be processed, cleared, and in one way or another, fully in your own way, assimilated, processed, so that it is able to fully transform. What I will say is that you are not really in need of information at the moment. It is much more a time of internal inquiry, clearing energy, because what I see about information is that it comes in once energy is cleared. So when you are clearing energy, it is a time to really focus on the movement within, on what is going on, the things which are trying to process and clear. And then, when you are feeling clear, that is the right time for information to come in, new information that you can then easily assimilate and use to move forwards with your life. So, some of you here may be asking questions about your life. You may be wondering where you are going, what will happen next. You may even want to go and consult people for answers, to receive greater information. But what I will say is generally it is not the right time for this. It is more about clearing. So it is better to focus on this at the moment, and also to remember that when you are feeling a bit confused, it is often because there is energy that is there trying to clear from your system, very old energy that makes you feel a bit like you do not quite know what is right for you, what is not. I will also say about energy that needs clearing is that you know it is energy and it is all about moving it when it feels uncomfortable, when the energy feels really in one way or another like something that disturbs you. That anything that disturbs you indicates that something needs clearing on a deeper level. And once you are clear, you just know what is right for you, who is right for you, without all the disturbances there. So, disturbance always means there is more to clear. I also want you to know that every single person in the world is part of something that is larger. So you are each playing a part. Some of you play a very positive part in life, but some of you have a role to play at times which is more negative, which is more about actually going very deep into energies that are a bit darker and then bringing them up to the surface. So, what I mean by this is that sometimes you will find yourself perhaps being the shadow in life when it comes to certain situations because that energy is resonating with some part in you. And I would like to remind you that just because you are a light worker, it doesn't always mean that you are in the light. It doesn't always mean you are bringing in the light. Sometimes you do have the role of being much more in the dark and creating problems, actually. And it is a reminder, actually, that you are all part of the karmic energy of life. You have all had your part to play in this. And some of you, it may have been more minor, such as occasionally going into a type of energy that is needy, demanding, like a child, where you are demanding from others the things that you need and want, instead of going within. So some of you may have had many lives where you have been really demanding, quite negative to people when they did not meet your needs, a bit like somewhat bit like people who had really strong expectations from people and then felt constantly like you were being let down and angry with others rather than looking at the deeper issues behind it. Whereas some of you here have actually done some very negative things, such as being part of much darker energies. So it is a reminder, actually, that it is important to keep looking within and keep looking at perhaps the things that you have done and been a part of and clearing them by acknowledging that you may have done things which are not right, asking that whatever you have done is automatically corrected by the universe, that whoever has been harmed by you over time and space is compensated in the right way, and that you are made right in that aspect of your being, that all is cleared from you. And as you do this, you will feel lighter at this time because some of what you may be experiencing within, which isn't fully clearing, is something that you may have done that you have not fully acknowledged. and for that reason you are not able to be fully free. I hope I'm making sense, but it is a reminder that even if you have done just a few things which have not been right and have caused harm and have not acknowledged these things, then you will still be affected by this internally. And it is also a reminder that clearing something doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as acknowledging something deep inside, just acknowledging that there is something that has been out of alignment in you, something that you have been doing which isn't right or have done, and asking that it is corrected within you, and that all who have been affected are given what they need, asking, and it will be done. And I also will share that doing this as a daily practice is very therapeutic, actually, for those of you who may feel inside a sense of inner disturbance that perhaps you are not right in some way. Because often this can be coming from very old lives where you have done things and not fully realized it at the time. And as you clear this, you will feel lighter, especially when you are the sort of person who takes full responsibility for yourself in this life. You will feel all the things which you have done which are not quite right. I also am saying this because I want you to know that where you carry unacknowledged energy, where you have been out of alignment, this energy will keep coming back into your life. It may be that you come across people who are constantly believing you to be doing things you are not, because you have not acknowledged something you have done a long time ago. Or it may be that it is something else, perhaps feeling overly responsible for people, situations that actually you are not responsible for, because you are not taking responsibility for something else. So it can play out in your life like this. Finally, what I will also say is that you are all going to find the deeper you go, the better you will feel inside. As you keep going deep, as you keep clearing the pain body, you will feel much better, lighter, clearer. And this will actually create more space for new things to come in, new things of all kinds, new projects, relationships, connections with life, perhaps even a new place, area in life that you will connect with and feel a deeper connection to than any other place you have been. But what I will say is the more you clear, the more that can come into your life. I would like to speak on another subject now, and this one is actually relevant to all of you hearing this now. And that is, every single person you meet in this lifetime will, in one way or another, show you something. So, some people show you just how much you are, in one way or another, in a certain state of not being able to see clearly what is in front of you. So some people will show you perhaps that you are not very observant. So they will perhaps have done things to you that you just didn't notice, perhaps till many years later. For example, a relationship you may have been in and the person was not loyal to you. The person was doing all kinds of things you did not realize and you just didn't notice. And what you may be being shown here is that you are not very observant. Perhaps you are very caught up in your own energy and life and don't really notice things. Perhaps you are busy or just doing too much generally in your life. more active, rather than going within and really feeling what is right for you and what is not. Perhaps it may indicate you have been in survival mode for a long time and so fixated on trying to stay alive that again you don't notice things on deeper levels. Perhaps it shows you the level of trauma you have been carrying that you have not been able to see clearly. Perhaps it is something else. But this is one example that everything that happens to you in life will show you something. Every relationship, every person you meet. And once you understand what something was showing you, it is much easier to let go. So, for those of you who have been struggling to clear some things out of your life, perhaps look at it in this way. See what that was showing you, what that person, situation was showing you about yourself. And as you focus on yourself and what you had to learn, you will be able to clear the energy much faster. I also will say that nobody comes into your life simply for the sake of it. Some people come in to show you the degree of trauma you are carrying, perhaps the degree of abuse, even that you are willing to tolerate in order to have a connection with another living being. And some people come in to show you really positive things about yourself, just how much you are able to do and give, or the positive qualities you have, showing you how much you are generally in the light. And the really positive relationships you have will ultimately take you forwards in your life, will take you to better times, better things. And the negative relationships will show you what you have to clear, what you have to resolve. And those of you who have a lot to resolve still, remember that it is really good to reflect on what you were being shown each time. This will be really helpful for you. I have one more thing to talk about now, and that is there is always going to be a strong connection between you and other light workers, where you have been together in other lives, working together as a team. There will always be something that draws you together. But when you are feeling inside that something isn't right, it can often be because of negative karma, things which have happened between you. And once this is cleared, you will know the right relationship in this lifetime. And for some people you have worked with in other lives as a team, you will find yourself coming back together with them and working really well together in this life. But for others, it will be about letting go. It will be about realizing that perhaps you were never quite compatible, that there was something always amiss between you. And what I am trying to really say is remember that these are new times. This is a life where everything is being reset. So it is not about necessarily being with the same people you have been with in other lives and working with them. It is not about recreating old structures of light. It is about clearing what is negative and seeing who you naturally come together with. So it is okay to let go of people in this life. And some of you will be letting go of many people, coming to realizations that perhaps something has never quite been right between you. It is really okay. And just a reminder that it is this sort of life, actually. It is not a life to repeat patterns, to recreate old structures, even if they were very positive at the time. It is a new life for new things, for things to grow bigger and better and stronger. And this may mean really going deep, letting go of old alliances, stepping into something new, being open to new types of people, and even getting to a point where you are very much in the mode where you are willing to let go of anything in order to stay in the light, in order to be in the flow of oneness. And when you are at this point where you are really willing to let go of anything in order to stay connected to the light at all times, that is when you are able to keep going forwards, and nothing will ever stand in the way between you and the light of oneness. It is then that you have really reached a point where you are able to sustain yourself through your connection to the light alone, and your needs will always be met in this way. When your pain body is clear, and when you are absolutely able to renounce anything that no longer serves you from a place of inner alignment and peace and oneness, from a place of deep connection, not a place of anger, hate, spite, but a place of depth, of connection to the oneness. And when you are in this place, you become a force to be reckoned with, in terms of nothing being able to take you off your path. So it is a reminder that this is a very good place to be. And it is a place that is also gentle, a place where you will not harm anyone through the decisions you make, where the alignment of what you are doing will actually be really evident to those around you, that nobody will feel that you are harming them by walking away. It will feel more like something that needs to happen for everyone, like you are doing the right thing. And that is how you know you are in alignment, because there will be a quality behind what you do that feels very natural, spontaneous, free flowing, without agenda, without negative emotion, hate, vengeance, the type of energies that can make people feel that something is not right. It is good for you to know this. And when you are in this type of energy, it is very benevolent, it is gentle, it has a quality to it that is really light and spontaneous, without any agenda or wanting to cause harm to anyone. So it is good for you to know this. I am not saying that you are there yet, but it is a reminder that this is what you are all going to be in one way or another aiming for in your spirit in this life, that you will all get there in this lifetime. That is what I see. What I see about the week ahead is that it will be a week that will be very good for you generally, but also a week that will have energies that are perhaps a bit harsher, only because the energies are strong at the moment. So you may need to have time for yourself in order to assimilate these energies, perhaps energies which are connected to your life, which are to do with people, situations, not necessarily negative, but just a bit harsher, such as things happening which are quite strong, where things come out into the open that feel a bit difficult to deal with. Things like that. That is all. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. And yes, wishing you a really good week ahead, and much love to all of you.